Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra. Welcome to today's presentation, and my teammates are Michelle, Seven, Vicky, Sarah. And today our presentation question is using academic literature explains the valuation model that used by analysis and academics, and also maybe critical evaluate the success of these models. So according to Hill, the loss in relevant of income statement has generally become an international trend, and it also affects the valuation models. And today we will mainly focus on the models that being used by academics and analysis. So before I give the explanation about the models, I want to introduce the theoretical basis. It is the efficient market hypothesis, which was put forward by Pharma in 1970, and it just predicts that all market price will incorporate with the available information at any point in time, and it got three levels of efficiency: the weak form efficiency, and the semi-strong form efficiency, and also the last one is strong form efficiency. And for the models we analyzed, we think the academics one would prefer the models in theory, and they would prefer like present value models, like dividend discounting models. But for the investors, like analysis, they would prefer that accounting fundamental things like cash flows or earnings. And now I will pass to Vicky to talk about the analysis module.
Thanks, Cassie, gave us the basic information. Now I will move on to the analysis module. Today I want to talk about the comprehensive multiple valuations. According to Demodera, the objective of this multiple valuation method is to determine a firm's equity values based on how the market price comparable firms or sometimes comparable transactions. The ratio analysis, as you can see on the slides, these are very frequently used. And the formulas on the slides, like how to calculate it. And modules are usually compare three main aspects of business. And the ratio analysis is also used to evaluate the various aspects of a company's operating and financial statement. And now I will evaluate the advantage of this kind of method. The first one I want to talk about is the simplicity of application, because the ratio analysis is easy and quicker for the investors. And the second is understandability, which means if you present to the clients and the consumers, it's really easy for them to understand. And the last one is accessibility, which means the investor can access the basic financial information on the website, and the information and the data is updated regularly. And then I will move on to the limitation. The first one is the market bubbles, which using the multiple could promote the formation of the market bubbles. And the second one is the simplicity of assumptions, which means it will compact a great deal of information. Sometimes it could be difficult to distinguish the different effects of the probability and sometimes the growth or risk among the firm's value. The last one, I will give a real-life example which pointed out by Penman. If we want to estimate the fair value of UBS, in the first step, the Credit Suisse is absolutely part of the peer groups, so which tells us about the fair value is independently of the market values. So I will pass it to Seven to give us further modules.
Hi, I'm Seven. Besides what Vicky has mentioned about, I would like to introduce you to some more valuation model which can be also used by analysts. First one is forward-looking model. Forward-looking is the business long-term for prediction of future business conditions. In 1997, theory indicates that forward-looking multiplier is the model that refers to forecasting rather than evaluating historical data. According to the Investopedia in 2017, forward-looking model will normally applied by some companies to evaluate next year's EBITDA. In addition, in 1999, Kim and Rita reported that the percentage of pricing error of forward-looking multiplier and historical multiplier were 80% and 23%. In 2011, Rigelson indicates that forward-looking model is more accurate. He further points out forward model considers effects of unexpected tectonic progress. However, in 2017, the Investopedia reported that forward-looking models were mainly focused on companies' predicted value, so it's more biased to error. Now I would like to move on to a beta model. In 2005, Gill has reported that enterprise value in beta can also be used to evaluate value equities by analysts. As you can see, enterprise value consists of debates and equity. There are plenty of advantage. In light of this, in 2005, Gilhart and Schreiner both point out that capital structure decision has a slight impact on this model. Furthermore, Schreiner admits that a beta model only takes operational performance into account, so that different tax rules have no effect on it. And in 2000, Gilson found that those companies who use DCF model were suffering from higher risk of valuation errors than those companies who use the beta models. And thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Now, me and Michelle are going to explain the three valuation models used by academics. First is the discounted cash flow model, and this model focuses on the cash generation and hence view the intrinsic value of the firm as the present value of the expected future free cash flow, which takes into account the time value of money. And the free cash flow can be seen as the cash flow after tax deduction that are available to all the investors. Now, next slide will show you the formula for the model, and then I'll discuss some of the issue and limitation of the discounted cash flow model. First of all, the scope of this model is quite narrow because it ignores all the other assets and liabilities. Secondly, there could be a lot of errors which occurs due to the difficulties in the measurement of the free cash flow and the discount rate. And furthermore, for this model to work, the predictable positive free cash flow is needed. And this would exclude many high growth firms and non-mature firms because these companies tend to incur large capital expenditures, resulting in the negative value cash flow. Moving on to the dividend discounted model, here is the formula. And it is developed by Williams in 1983, mainly based on the intrinsic value of the firm on the present value of the future expected dividends. Although the time value of money is taken into account and it is useful for the stable and mature firms, there are two main issues that was identified by Schreiner in 2007. So first of all, the model disregards the internal growth of the firm. Many firms with growth potential tend to reinvest their earnings rather than paying out the dividends, and so they might not even pay out the dividends at all for a long period of time. Secondly, the prediction of the dividends or its growth rate might not be a good measure for the firm's value according to the dividend relevance proposition by Millers and Modigliani in 1961. And lastly, cash distribution might not link to the value of the firm because the firm could just simply borrow the money from somewhere else and pay it out as the dividends. Now I'm going to pass on to Michelle to discuss further about the RIV models.
Thank you, View. And now I will talk about the residual income valuation model. So what is it? It identifies as a measure of a firm's ability to create value, and it derives from the firm's forecast from abnormal earnings, according to Olson 1995. And according to Pisnell 1981, the residual income is the amount that net income exceeds the capital charge on the book value of equity. And this is the opportunity cost of its invested capital. And also it's supported by Schreiner 2007 and Pisnell 2002. The RIVM considers the intrinsic value of equity, and this is a rough formula of RIVM. But what are the advantages? So one of them is it does not require dividend payment. So it focuses on the measure of value generation from the residual income, and this contrasts with DDM that requires dividend. And also supported by Lee and Schreiner, and it's currently many large firms such as UBS and Credit Suisse used as a standard tool for value-based judgment and management.
RRVM also provides a reasonably reliable and timely measure of firm's performance. What are the disadvantages in contrast to that? So the clean surplus relationship does not always hold, and on a per share basis, clean surplus will not generally hold if there are expected changes in shares outstanding, such as in issuance or buyback of shares. And also in practice, capital transactions are often driven by market inefficiencies and thus have an impact on the value of the firm. And the model is also vulnerable to manipulation by the company management. And last but not least, both IFRS and GAAP violate this market value conditions, such as having convertible bonds when converted and employee stock options when exercised, according to Olson 2005. So to evaluate the success of these models, Perman and Sogans of 1998 explained through value estimates and observed stock prices. So RIVM is predicted better with lower valuation errors. So in conclusion to that, RIVM is the best, and moreover, accruals for this more value relevant than cash flows of DCF and DDM, and also accepted under GAAP. And now I'll pass on to Sarah for the evaluation of our models. Thank you.
So in general, according to Barker 1999, the analysis model, especially for price-earning ratios, is more important for investment decision-making in practice. But on the other hand, also have some disadvantages, such as that it's mainly based on the historical data, and then if you compare the same ratio across different companies, it has to be limited within the same industry. And also, there could be some unpredictable changes, such as the financial crisis or hyperinflation. And moving on to academic models, it weighs more that it takes into account the time value of money, such as previously mentioned by VU, the DDM model, and the DCF model. But disadvantages is that the scope is too narrow because it only considers the company's cash generation and cash distribution, which reflects the intrinsic value of the firm. And for a real-life example, this is the research conducted by the PwC in 2016. And then out of the 22 tribunals, the 70 of them give the reason why they reject the DCF model is because they think that the model is too uncertain or speculative. And so, to conclude that, we think the analytical model is more successful reflecting the company's financial position and performance in the market, and the academic model is more successful in reflecting the company's intrinsic value. And that is all for our presentation, and this is our reference list. Thank you for listening.